Hello there, and welcome to another Starfield ship review video. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the Highlander, or in my case, the Highlander 3. So the number after the name is the tier of the ship. The higher the number, the better the base stats of the vessel. So in my case, this tier 3 version has a 40 power reactor, whereas if you found the tier 2 version, the reactor might only be 35, and then a tier 1 version, the reactor may only be like, say, 30. So yeah, most of the non-kind of NPC faction ships seem to up to 3. So like for instance, like pirate ships, I believe go to 4, depending on your level. The spacer ships and the ecliptic merc ships all go to 4, whereas I believe ships you can buy, to my knowledge, only go to 3. Anyway, let's get into the review. So this is based on the Stronghold. This is a custom ship. Now, I started to notice when I was doing my videos that there was like certain ships that looked like specific ships, but they were like modified slightly to make them to make them better. And I initially didn't cop on at the time. Sorry, I don't know if that's cop on. That's an Irish saying. I didn't catch on at the time to like what was going on. I thought there was just like, say, a certain amount of generic ships that could spawn at any vendors. But thanks to a comment from Random Guy, which big shout out to you, that was very informative. He explained that each generic NPC vendor has a unique ship that can be sold. And that ship is usually based on another ship, but it has better parts. And generally, it's like a better upgrade. So thank you, Random Guy, for that. So this is the Highlander. It's based on the Stronghold, and it can only be purchased, to my knowledge, and he was saying that too. Now, I haven't done any checking and stuff, but I'm pretty sure he is correct, because I have not seen the ships he was listing. I have only seen them in one spot. So this one you can find, I'm just going to really quickly show you real quick. This one you can find at the Ship Service Technician on Hopetown on the planet Polvo. There is Hopetown there, and there's Polvo is in the Valo system. Valo is hidden under the Narian system. They're both together, and there's Sol and there's Alpha Centauri. Now, this was a kind of a tricky one to find because it wasn't always here. So if it's not here, you have to go and do the method of landing on Mercury, waiting 24 hours in your ship, and then coming back. And then it should be here, but you might have to fiddle around. So yeah, it's just interesting to note. I'll probably, once I get all the ships done, I think I've got like 5 or 6 more to do. I'll probably do like an updated video that just kind of explains all the unique ships. Anyway, so yeah, so just looking at it, it's clearly a HopeTech vessel, and it's a very cool vessel. Like the Stronghold itself is a very cool looking ship. It kind of gives me the vibe of like almost like a mobile kind of refit station, like than an actual like kind of vessel. So if we look at the stats, we've got a fuel of 2200, which is astronomical. Like, if there was a kind of a fleet system in the game where you had to kind of have different vessels, this would be the vessel you bring to fuel your ships and carry excess ammo and like supplies. Now, obviously, you don't need that much fuel. I want to say that even if there was like a hardcore mode in this game where you had to refuel manually, you could probably chart most of the known systems in this ship without refueling. So yeah, like, but obviously it's more for aesthetic, so I wouldn't really remove them because they do look cool. And then for the hull, we've got 15,000 or 1,515, which again, very good hull. Hull is kind of tricky to get because every time you add a piece, it adds to the hull. Certain pieces add more, like reactors add more. But generally, once you have like your ship built, like what this is now, if you wanted to add substantially more hull, you'd kind of have to throw more pieces on it. So like it is kind of hard to kind of get, your hull up there without kind of changing the ship drastically. But 15,000 or 1,515 hull, that is phenomenal. Like very, very good. If your shields go down, you have a fair amount of survivability. Although I don't know about combat in this ship, it seems very heavy. We need some turrets, so we'll see that when we do the teardown. Cargo, it's got 2,360, which isn't bad. Now I'm just noticing, like I said, we'll do a teardown. Those cargo containers on the top there on each side, they're the lowest tier. So I know for definite we can bump up the cargo a bit by swapping to the red ones. For the base stats, it's got a C-class reactor with 40 power. That's the best reactor power in the game, which is really nice. So you don't really need to do much upgrading unless you are trying to min-max. Then there's there's a specific reactor that gives you like an extra, I think, I want to say like 800 hull. Or not 800. I don't think it's 800. It might be something. It's something high, though, so, you know. And then we've got a crew of 6, which, again, really, really nice. Having that, like, you know, high crew you don't need to fiddle with too much. It's got a jump range of 30 light years, which you would hope it would be able to jump far, because just look at it. It's a hulking monster. It's got a shields of 13, 15, which isn't too bad. That's very good. The max shield in the game is around, I think it's like 16k is the max. If you're going for pure shield, which we'll do a teardown, we'll show those shields and stuff. So yeah, with the hull and with the shield, this thing, even though it's like not currently kitted very well, I mean, it's technically kitted for combat, but if I was flying this vessel, I'd have more turrets just to kind of play into the fact that this is not very maneuverable. It might be. When we see, we'll know. So it's got 3 sets of weapons. It's got a pair of ballistic weapons mounted. Mounted where? Where are the ballistic weapons? Am I blind? Oh, I see them. Okay. We've got a single ballistic railgun mounted to the left of the, or to the port of the bridge there. You can see it. It's got a pair, triple laser turrets, 2 mounted on those front landing pad, 1 mounted on the back. I'm not going to lie, Bethesda, that placement looks a bit funky, just a tad bit. And then it's got some particle beams on the front. So this ship is costing me 471,460. Now that price will vary depending on the perks you have and the tier at which you buy it. So I have the perks that make things cheaper. Obviously, if you don't have that perk, you buy a tier 3, you'll probably be paying maybe like 5 to 600k. Whereas if you find the tier 1 or 2, you'll be paying substantially less. So we're going to purchase it, and then we're going to head to the usual spot and check it out. Alright, so here we are. Pre-warning, a pop might come up on screen because I screenshotted the clip to, or the picture to put it in thumbnail, but sometimes Xbox takes a crap, and yeah. So don't be alarmed if something appears on the screen. Anyway, it's a really cool design, like I was saying. That, like, top cockpit area makes me, like, it almost feels like that can be, like, disconnected. Like, almost like an emergency, like, you know, like an escape pod. Because, like, just looking at it from where it is now, it looks like there's not much actual interior in it. Which, I mean, realistically, if this was, like, say, like a refit station, you wouldn't really have a lot in it anyway because, you know, it's going to be pretty remote. You're not going to need a lot of amenities. Anyway, we're going to try and fall without breaking my legs. Nice, we did. Never mind. So we enter here through the starboard side, which is quite nice to have. Got a Shroud Eklund entry. I got really excited there for a second because I thought that it was like too long, and I was like, oh, is this a unique piece? And I was like, no, it's not. It's just... It'd be kind of cool if you could get like bigger cargo bays anyway. Got the usual Shroud Eklund entryway, really like it. The thing that I thought was a wheelchair ramp, that is not a wheelchair ramp. I've been informed it's too steep. To which I say, even people in wheelchairs have to live a little. Sorry, that was probably a very crude joke. So we're gonna hop in anyway and try not to get lost. Oh, I like these. I like these. These are really cool. So we've got this little kind of boarding tube that enters into. Is this a tile edge? Nah, I'm joking. It's Hope Tech, or it's yeah, Hope Tech. So we got a Hope Tech all-in-one berth, I believe. Does this kitchen work? Oh. What do we have to click on this one? We have to click that. Okay, pretty nice. Yeah, see, even he knows it's a bit dusty. We've got the famous chair from Facebook Marketplace. We've got darts. I don't know how good darts would be in space. That seems kind of sketch. We got the bunk beds. I quite like the bunk beds. The Hope Tech bunk beds. It gives a more industrial kind of vibe. Don't know about those footrests though. What if you have a really wide foot? Anyway, if we head to the next area, take the door, and we have a 1x1 storage room from Hope Tech, and we go up, and I'm okay, and up again, and we have another 1x1 storage room from Hope Tech. We're doing a teardown at the end of the video, like always. And then into another 1x1. I don't know why they did a 1x1 here and not like a 2x1. And the teardown will look at that properly. Oh, we have the famous Hope Tech. The 3x3 storage room. It makes sense on a vessel like this. I personally don't like this one, just because it doesn't really add much from like a gameplay point of view. Like I've said in previous videos, and other people have also said the same. These should like give you like a flat increase to your storage, like give like an extra 2K storage or something, just something to make it, you know, feel like it's using. Like from a roleplay point of view, it makes sense.
Way bigger than Dad's.
Does he even have a ship, Cora? Anyway, so we come back in here and we have two little side areas there. So to the right here, the starboard side, we have a nice little window that looks out. Very cool. I don't know how I'd feel about walking through this though, and like if we're in space. I feel like, I know it's like properly reinforced, but it looks like fabric, like I accidentally cut it and get sucked out into space. And then to the left here, we have the docking tube in the other one. And then we have that goes up there. We'll check that in a minute. We have the Hope Tech, control station. Nice to have. We got that extra crew space. And then up we go. And in here we have another 1x1 storage room. Is that a workstation? Haha, it is a workstation. Very nice. You got the workstation, we got the weapon workbench, your industrial workbench, your spacesuit workbench. Personally, I probably would have put this downstairs more because I feel like having to... I feel like having to walk the whole way up to the ship is a bit tedious. We'll see if we can, in the teardown, if we can fix that. And if we jump up here, we have a little 1x1 storage room. We're just going to jump up over this side too. And we have another 1x1 storage room. How did a watermelon get up here? Okay, mine now. Again, it's... Oh, I know why this top one is here now, actually. I was going to say this doesn't make sense. But the top uses like a unique Hope Tech habitat. That's like kind of like cylindrical in nature, and that's why it's like this. So it makes sense. Kind of wish there would have been like more, like 2x1 of the cylindrical habitats. Then we've got the Hope Tech cockpit, really cool cockpit, although it feels more like a combat vessel. Look at that, that's a cool view. I kind of feel like those aerials aren't really necessary, but that is a very cool view. You've got like the solar panels there, even though they're radiators. I like to think in my head that they're more solar panels, which, given... I don't know what powers the ships in this game. I know like fuel powers the engines and stuff, but I don't know if like the engine or they're like a byproduct of the engines, or if they use like a separate thing. Anyway, we've got the pilot seat there, and we've got the co-pilot seat to the left, and we have the navigator to the right. We're going to take this into orbit and see how she performs. I'm probably going to have to pause here to kick out my crew again, because I usually forget, but we shall see. This thing is big. Like, this thing kind of strikes me as a ship that, like, shouldn't land very often. Like, I feel like it should just kind of sit in orbit, and you, like, get a little, like, kind of a shuttlecraft to bring you down. Which, hopefully Bethesda at some point would do something like that. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see, like, the ability to have a little smaller shuttlecraft that can dock. Alright, sorry about that. We are back. It's a bit of a jump there. Anyway. So, as always... Oh, my dog's going to jump past me. Sorry about that. As always, I have a perk that increases my power by 5. So for the sake of this video, we are not going to be using the 5 power. For anyone curious, it's called Anatronic Fusion. Let me show you real quick because I got a couple of questions. Here it is here in the science tray. It's down at the bottom. It's a handy skill to have anyway. So weapon-wise, got that singular ballistic weapon on the left and on the port. Turrets cannot be fired as they are turrets. Particles can't be fired. What? Particles are turrets? I didn't know that. Okay, interesting. Anyway, we'll do a quick speed test. Probably going to cap out at 130. Yeah, base speed of 130. It's kind of expected. Boost speed of... Ooh, this is slow. Speed of 360. God damn. Okay. We're going to do a quick pitch. I'm going to pitch up. It's not. Okay, I take it back. It's kind of slow. It's like a 3. The current mobility is not very vibey, as they say. Oh, that seems worse. The yaw is not looking good. Yeah, the yaw's a bit. And then, roll's not too bad. Alright, so we're going to go down to the plant now and do the teardown, and then show some potential upgrades. Alright, so we had to kind of split this into 4 sections, just because it's a little finicky. So on the top here, we have the HopeTech Armstrong 20 cockpit. Gives 240 cargo, and it gives 2 crew station, which is nice. And then we have the HopeTech Storeroom Fuselage B, and then the companion with Fuselage D. These are the ones I was talking about. They're quite cool. I kind of wish there was more variety to them. Like, it's clearly like a 2x1. I'd love like a 2x1, like captain's quarters, like really like tight and snug. It'd be really, really cool. Anyway, so for the weapon, we have this single MKE-9A auto Gauss gun from Ballistic Solutions. C-Class, 1500 range, fire rate of 4, does 37 damage to hull, and requires 4 power. And then we have one of 3 Reza 10 PHC pulse laser turrets from Shinigami, B-Class, 1200 range, 5 fire rate, 30 shield damage, and 4 max power. And then for the shield generator, sorry, we have the Odin 3050C shield generator from Protectorate System. It's C-Class, 11 max power, 15 shield health, and it's 5 regenerate. Now there is better shields if we go to shields first. Shields. So all the way down to C. So this is the one we're currently using. Now, you want this one here, this, not this one, that one. So this Assurance SG 1800 is the strongest shield in the game. Both C-Class, 1 extra power, and it gives you an extra almost 300 shield. Now, the main difference is that not much of a difference in the price, actually. This is a lot heavier, though, which, you know, some people might not like. And then, at the back here, we have the SF-40 Sheared Flow Reactor from Dogstar. This is a C-Class. It's got 40 power. It's got a 5.8 repair rate. And I believe this is the one that has, like, the massive hull. Let me just check something. Oh, what did I just do? Whoops. Ah. Okay, it gives it a very massive hull. Interesting. I'm just going to check the other reactors. What sort of hull do they... they all kind of give around the same, actually. Oh, I seen a big one there. Am I blind? No, I didn't. It's like, with the reactors, this is probably one of the better ones. There is... This is the one I have. There's like another one, I believe someone was saying in the comments, that gives like way more hull. This might actually be it. But yeah, reactor-wise, we're good to go. And then there's no aesthetic pieces on the top. Now if we go to the next section, so we have the HopeTech 1x1 companionway, and we have the HopeTech workshop. They're the only modules on this. And then for the storage, we have 4 of these Store Max 30 cargo. They both give 210, or all 4 of them give 210. Now you can, you can get the more powerful ones. Let me show you. Cargo. So these base ones are 500 and they do 210. These ones require Starter Design 1. They're more expensive. They're almost 3 times expensive, but they give double cargo, so you can effectively double this cargo from 800 to 1700. So that's a good kind of upgrade to go with. And then for the aesthetics, we have 3 of these Nova engine struts. We have 4 of these Deimos A hulls. We have 2 of these HopeTech markers. And finally, we have this equipment plate, which was what this was mounted on. Now, if we go to the third section of the vessel, the inner working, so we'll start here. We've got the HopeTech cargo hull, 2x2. We've got 2 of these storerooms here, 1 and 1. Now, I would swap these out ideally. So this is what I would recommend doing. So this here, since you enter here, I would change this and make this... Oh, put that back. I would change this into your workshop, just because it makes sense, you know, having the workshop. And then I would probably pull these out and maybe put like an infirmary on the ship, or... Does this ship have a captain's quarters? I don't believe it does. I'd probably put a captain's quarters there. Anyway, and then for the aesthetics, so we have the Hope Tech Docker port there. We have the Hope Tech Hab cross brace there and there. And then that's all the modules. We have these here, but you could probably put habitats there if you want to, but it's a bit overkill. For the grav drive, we have the SGD 3300 grav drive from Slayton Aerospace. It's a C-class, 11 max power, gives 45 grav jump thrust, and the current config gives 30. Now, if you plan on making this ship bigger, there is a better grav drive. Are they going to sell it? I just passed it. So this one here. So now you'll notice this one is 50, requires the same amount of power. It's a lot more expensive though. So if you're keeping the ship kind of the same, I would just stick with the base one. It's perfectly fine. But if you start to add a lot more weight to it and you see the jump range dipping, you can obviously upgrade to this one. For the engines, we've got 2 of these Supernova 2100 engines from Relodyne, C-class, 3 max power, 21,120 engine thrust, and 7,050 maneuvering thrust. Not bad engines. And then for the weaponry at the front, so we have a pair of these, 3 altogether, but 2 at the front here, the Reza 10PH pulse lasers. We went over these already. And then we have a pair of these turrets here. What were they mounted on? Ah, they're mounted on these, okay. So we have a pair of these turrets, the Obliterator 250 MEV Alpha turrets from Lightsight, C-class, 3900 range, 1.5 fire rate, 86 damage to both, and 4 max power. Now, weird placement of the turrets because they don't have very good sightlines. Like, yes, they can kind of look like 90 degrees that way, 90 degrees that way, but it just seems like a weird, you could just put fixed weapons here. I don't know why they went with turrets. Anyway, so for the landing gear, we've got 4 of these NG-15 landing gear. These are the 4 ones, so they have the little thrusters on them, and then 2 more on the other side. And then we have 4 of these big 800T helium-3 tanks from Ballistic Solutions. They give 550 each, so 2,200 altogether. And then we've got some more storage here. We've got 2 of these 300 cm ballast cargo hold. They give 320 cargo, 1 here and 1 there. And then for some of the aesthetic pieces, we have the Hope Tech bumper. We have one of these Nova bracers with a Hope Tech marker. We have another Nova bracer with a radiator. Then we have another Nova bracer with a Hope Tech marker, and then the final 4th Nova bracer with a radiator on top. And then for the aesthetic piece at the back, we have got 4 of these Deimos Hull A's here and here. I'm just double checking I didn't miss because we have 2 of these. These are quite cool, these Nova thruster arrays. They kind of like act as like reaction control systems. For anyone that's not familiar with that term or hasn't played Kerbal Space Program, they basically allow you to kind of pivot the ship left, right, up, and down without exerting a lot of fuel. They're kind of cool. They do work, which is really nice. And then we've got a little window on this side here, and then on the back here we have the Hope Tech nose B aft. So that's all of that there. Now on the bottom, on the bottom here we have the Hope Tech living quarters 2x1, the Hope Tech companionway 1x1. We have a Hope Tech cross hab there that is connected to a Stability Pro landing bay. And then that's it for that. Now for the landing gear, we have 1, 2, we have 3 ACU-11 landing gear. Right now we have 4. Can I count? Yes, 4 ACU-Lander 11 landing gear. And then we have for the aesthetic pieces, we've got 2 of these Deimos hulls. We have 3 of these Hope Tech pipes mid. We have this Nova thruster port that is supposed to connect over here. It's supposed to connect there, I believe. Yeah, it is. Okay, let me just put that over there real quick so that I missed them. I apologize. So that's one goes there and then one goes the other side like so. And then we have 2 of these Horizon weapon mounts here and here. We have another Nova bracer, we have 2 more 300 cm ballasts, and then we have the Hope Tech Bumper A. Now, like I was saying, before I put the ship back together, so your workshop is up here. Now, I would swap this So you know how we put the workshop down here really close to the docking bay, which this workshop was originally a control station. So we're going to... Damn it, wrong one. So we're going to change this back to a control station. There we go. And our crew is back up to 6. Nice. Now, the only real changes like I would recommend is these two here. You could easily swap out. So what do we have? We've got a cargo hall, we've got a workshop, and we've got the control station. And what is this? This is a living quarters. So we obviously don't have the Hope Tech one, but we'll just use what we have for the moment just to kind of replicate. So what I'd probably do is I'm going to use this Deimos as a kind of as a sample. So I'd probably have... Well, you want a captain's quarters, obviously. Come on now. We need a captain's quarters. So I'd probably slap a captain's quarters down there, potentially. Actually, you know what? I am slightly silly. Give me one moment. We don't want to put the workshop here. We want to put the workshop down underneath, because if you're landing on a planet, you're going to be entering through here. So I'm going to remove this and remove that. And we're going to place the workshop in here, like so. We're going to delete them and delete them. Now that looks perfectly fine as is. Now you could level it out by adding another one here if you wanted to. And then what we took from here, we will then... We took from here, so we got the captain's quarters. I'd probably slap the captain's quarters in here, just so you know you have a captain's quarters, and then let me see, potentially an infirmary. Like it's up to you. If you don't like this cargo hall, you could rip out the cargo hall here, and you could put like an armory here, and then maybe like a science lab here, or you could have one of the bigger like kind of 2x1 like the mess halls. But yeah, that's generally how I'd go for the setup. Now I'm going to have to double check when I put this on to make sure it works. So we're going to put it back together really quickly. And we're going to, let me edit. No, edit. Perfect. Now I'm just going to move this very briefly. So we're going to delete this. I'm going to delete this. Now for the benefit of this video, like I said, we're just going to use this one as a kind of a tester. So we could put this in here like so. You would be using a Hope Tech one just to fit. Yeah, so that works fine. I don't know why they didn't do that to begin with. And then obviously we have the other side here. We have like, there's just some Deimos hull. As you can see there. Oh, I forgot I can pivot. So again, you could delete that and you could add like another one here if you wanted to add a armory on the bottom floor. Maybe, actually, that's not a bad idea. What you could do is you could do your workshop there, straight in off the entryway. You could put your captain's living quarters, so you could turn this into your captain's quarters here, and then in the middle you could have an armory. So you come straight in, you have access to your workshop, you can store weapons you don't need, and you have a place to sleep. And then you're all on the bottom floor, all your stuff's on the bottom floor. And then on the top floor, like I was saying, this here, you can keep the control station there, or you can remove these, see these ones here, this workshop, you can change it to something else, like I was saying. Anyway, let's get on to some of the upgrades. So one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to remove these, because this is going to be a heavy vessel, and we're kind of going to lean into this heavy. We're not going to worry too much about it being slow, because we're going to be using turrets. So we're going to get some of these bad boys, and this is going to, or bad girls, or bad whatever. I mean, they're cargo hulls. They probably don't have genders, but you never know. It's 2300. They might be sentient. So we've got... so 4 of these, it's basically double their cargo space, which is nice. And then we'll do the weapons next. So I'm going to remove these turrets, because when it comes to turrets, I personally don't like using ballistic turrets. Now, I'm going to put this up here. Are you serious? You won't let me snap there. We're not going to put that up there. Or instead, I'm going to remove... Oops. I'm going to remove one of these, and I'm going to put this here. Like so. Now, obviously... Oh, sorry, we need to upgrade the shield generator. I apologize, I forgot that. We'll put the big shield generator in the middle, just so it kind of, like, it's out of the way. Where are you, Mr. Shield Generator? You are... Nope, didn't go far enough. 1800, perfect. We'll slap this one here like so, and then we're going to remove these turrets here and here. here. Now, for the actual turret placement, what I'd probably recommend doing, we're not going to have access to them, but what you could do, realistically, so you have these pieces here, the equipment plates from Taya, they're really, really good, they're very handy. I would use these to mount your turrets, and for the turrets, I just stick with some like lower energy, like B-class turrets. I usually go with either, you want to go particles, because particles are better. I'd probably go with these ones, because they look a little bit nicer. And then we'll have one turret there, and obviously I apologize, I don't have another one of those plates, sadly. But you get the plates, and they're easy to find in Neon, and then you put another one there. So you have those two turrets there, they've got a nice kind of arc where they can see better. And then I feel like we should probably add like some more. Like we could technically put these on the front here like we did. I mean, they actually look kind of fine where they are. Yeah, we can put one here. So you got those 4 turrets. I'm going to really quickly add those modules. What's the error? What's unattached? Oh yeah, it's the weapons. I apologize. That weapon's unattached. And then for like the normal weapons, like we have these horizon weapon mounts here. So turrets are nice, but sometimes you want to shoot stuff. So I would recommend going up here again. This is personal preference. If you want to completely obliterate everything, you have these bad boys here, the Vanguard Obliterators. You can put 6 of them on and they will shred anything. You need to complete the introduction of the Vanguard questline. So you can put 4 here, and then you could slap 2 of these on the back like so. Or even, yeah, 2 of these on the back like so. But put them on the back, they, I wouldn't put them on the back, actually, just because it's going to look a bit funky. But yeah, you can put 4 of them here, and then, like, if you wanted to add more, I'd probably remove these, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm going to remove these. And then you can, do another one of these. Perfect. And then you can basically mount another one here. So if you, like I said, if you're going with these ones, you can do like one there, one there, one down underneath, another down underneath, and then like that's set up there. You will kill absolutely everything. Actually, I might remove the top ones, you know that? Because that looks kind of cool. What's delete? No, delete. Delete. That actually looks kind of cool with them, like, together. Makes them look like they're railguns. So yeah, if you are going with the option where you don't have that, you can go with the P30s here, and I would just set them up how I just did there. It's like have one on the top. So one on the top, and then one... this is gonna not play nice. So we're gonna... They won't like to snap normally. You're going to have to merge them by doing little techniques. So in order to do that, all you would basically do is we're going to snap this. Come on, we're going to snap this. So like I said, if we tried to snap this, it wouldn't snap. You just look at it, press Y or your duplicate, and then snap. And then you have 4 of them there. They'll do the job. They look quite cool in their current configuration. They do look like railguns, like I was saying. And then we're going to add them. Going to add them as your primary weapon. Now, in this current configuration, you are more than capable of dealing with anything. Those turrets will be very useful. They'll target anything that's kind of on your blind spot and just kind of harass them. And then these particles will just absolutely shred. You don't need to go with these. If you want to kind of make it easier on yourself, you can go with some just normal weaponry. Right, and then finally, we're going to like upgrade the cargo a little bit more. Because I notice underneath we have this like trackway. And to be honest with you, I don't mind it, but let me see if we can. So we'll just look at some storage, because like I feel like you're building this, it's going to be heavy. You want storage, so we're going to go get some more storage. Do we have any that sit under this one here? What do you? Perfect. This is kind of my go-to whenever I'm putting storage. So what I'll do is I'll delete all of these pipes, and then in their place there. I'll fit 3 of them, And it looks a lot more sturdy. Obviously, our mobility has gone to Jesus, as you can see, 18 mobility. But we've almost got 5k storage, which is really, really nice. And honestly, if it was me, I wouldn't care too much about mobility, because I think it kind of looks cool, like, you know, it being a kind of a bit of a heavier vessel. But we will look at the engines now, the kind of the final piece. So obviously we have these Supernova 2100 engines, and I believe there's better versions. God damn, these bigger videos are getting like really long now that I've kind of been doing them. So what do we have? These are the 2100s. So we can upgrade to the 2200s, which give us a little bit more. Gonna put these here. Delete. And then what you could actually do is you could slap 2 more on, like so, or 4 more on. What's the error? What's the error again? Tell me the error. Too heavy? Too few landing gear. Okay, we can sort that. Give me a moment. So yeah, those extra engines obviously make more heavier, but you got a little bit more mobility. Now, as for the landing gear, of course you don't have the landing gear I want. What landing gear do we have here? So what I'd probably, if you are going the route of having so we don't have the landing gear currently, but what I would recommend doing is I would get some of these Shroud Eklund ones, and I would just extend one to here. And then, let me see. Just want to actually check, so I'll know. So this is a, what is the Shroud Eklund one? Shroud Eklund's a 2, so let's strap 2 of these on and see if it does anything. The purpose of this, no, I can't actually. For the purpose of this, we're just going to pull this off. Just to double check. Hello? Okay, yeah, so if we were to get another one of them landing gear, and we strap that on like so, I'm just going to have to remove this turret because this ship is fully functioning. Like I said, jump range is a little lower, so if that's a problem, we can go with the grav drive really quickly. We can get the 50 weight one, this bad boy here. We'll just slot that in its place. And we've got 29 currently, which is not bad. So yeah, that's generally how I'd kind of like how I'd upgrade it. It's not a lot really to it, I suppose. Obviously, like I said, with the landing gear, just go to Neon and grab another one of these Shroud Eklund. As you can see, they provide 2, and I'd probably put it like right here. Or if you wanted to, you could put it in the middle. And then, because these ones here you won't need, obviously, but... And then, yeah, that's the kind of the general setup I'd go with. Nice having the turrets there just for some... Obviously, you'd have one more turret there. The turrets for some like extra cover. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Apologies if this is a longer video. I kind of feel like I want to showcase more slowly. Not slowly, but more in depth some of these bigger ones. But anyway, I will catch you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this sort of content. Actually, I forgot to do the main part. Let me know what you guys think of this ship. And, because I know that I've done the video on the Stronghold. What do you guys think of it compared to the Stronghold? And, like, how do you guys kit it? Do you keep it as kind of like mainly a freighter hauler type thing? Or do you try and make it into, like, an expanse level kind of belter, like, warship with, like, strapped-on guns? But yeah, anyway, like I said, thanks for watching, guys. And don't forget to check out some of the reviews. Bye-bye.